Welcome to an episode of Chat Cinema. I'm here with Murad Abu Eisheh. He directed the short film Talavision. He also won the Student Academy Award. Congratulations. And you've been shortlisted for the Academy Award this year. Oh, okay, so television is really getting seen by a lot of people. I'm going to ask you a few questions about the movie. I'm trying to be spoiler free. But okay, so help me here. Now, the first thing I notice is, okay, Talavision is about a girl who's really suffering during her childhood, who's really suffering, I guess, a harsh childhood in Syria. I wanted to ask you something. Let's see. Claustrophobic. The film is very claustrophobic.
Yes. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
The film, yes, it is claustrophobic. I wanted to design the story around completely from the point of view of this little girl that is stuck at home during the war in Syria. And part of it was this claustrophobia. We wanted to create like this massive difference between indoors and outdoors, and like to highlight the moments when she's going outdoors, like how different they are. It's part of the psychological message I wanted the audience to feel.
Okay. Now, there's another character in the film that doesn't really make an appearance. Ahmed?
Yes.
But he plays the little boy, he plays a crucial part in the film. Can you explain that?
I wanted I mean, the character of Ahmed basically is her friend that she writes letters to because they can't see each other anymore. Due to several things happening, like a play. One of them is that Ahmed is portrayed as there's something wrong with him, and he's been injured in the war, and she can't see him right now, and his dad is struggling to get him the treatment to treat him. And at the same time, they're living under ISIS rule, and boys and girls are not supposed to mix.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you something. There was a part, no spoilers here, guys. There was a part of the movie, the short, a young boy says something to Taya as she's sitting outside in the window. I'm not going to say what she says. And it just really shocked me. It just came out of the blue. Yeah. So that boy is also he's also suffered under ISIS. He has no innocence anymore either. Was that a commentary?
I mean, I want. Yeah, definitely. I wanted to portray. I mean, the entire film. I wanted it to be a representation of where things start getting wrong in our lives as adults. It starts there when you're a child. And for Tala, she's a girl. She's a woman under this rule of ISIS, and certain rules have to apply to her. And at the same point, I wanted to mirror that into what boys experience as well. So he had the freedom to walk in the street, play with his football, and had the audacity to say something for Tala. I didn't want to comment that this boy is a bad boy, or like, I don't know, like something is wrong with him personally, but I wanted to say that he's probably learned that from other men that he observed, and this is the misogynistic world they're living in, and yeah, it's just a mirror of the entire society.
Yeah, it's like I said, yeah, no one is really innocent in this. Everyone has lost something. It was really shocking. I'm just going to be honest with you. Whoa, hit me in the face. All right, so now, no spoilers here, guys. No spoilers. Tala made a very fateful decision, but she's a child. I mean, maybe, of course, children don't understand the consequences of their actions, but that was a very fateful decision. Yeah. Especially, what happens later. How did you come about that? Was that common under ISIS rule, for example? A little child decision all of a sudden just snowballs.
I mean, I just wanted to show that your like children's lives in particular, or people's lives in general, would come to a complete halt due to really small things that we take for granted.
Yes.
And under the ISIS rule, like things were really ridiculous. Like TVs were banned. You were not allowed to wear jeans. If you wear jeans, you would go out to get whipped in the streets. You know, it was really a complex situation they're living in. And I wanted to highlight that these things that we take for granted are not things that those people had to deal with. Like these were really big things and big decisions. But for Tala, she's such a young girl. She's 7 years old. She doesn't understand that the world is working like that. She doesn't understand war and its politics. She's just a kid that wants to live her childhood. She wants to watch TV, you know,
like everyone. And she wanted to watch football. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
She wanted to watch football of all things. Come on. I mean, that's very universal. It's the most universal sport on the planet. All right. Now, I noticed in your work, you make a lot of commentary about the Middle East. And in this work, there was a lot of commentary about the Middle East, but also you made commentary about the people in the Middle East. I for all those out there, I've lived in the Middle East, traveled around. I have a lot of people and friends in the Middle East, so I kind of understand the culture. Do you want to talk about that for a minute? I mean, is this the way people are, or do you think it's under the circumstances?
I think it is definitely circumstances and the way we're grown up, our education system, you know, like there's a lot of things at play here.
Yes.
I mean, I definitely, I spoke about this a lot. I mean, from my personal experience, for example, I remember in my 6th grade at school, my teacher came up, we were supposed to write an essay in Arabic. And she stood in front of the class and said, you're allowed to write about anything you want except religion, sex, or politics. And, you know, like it's yeah, exactly. And for me, I didn't think about it at the time, but then later I reflected on it and I realized how the entire structure works, how they teach you to censor yourself, how they teach you to how they limit your dreams, how they, you know, like they try to mold you in certain ways. And at the end, you have this entire situation. Like you can be surprised when the Middle East is the way it is, because, you know, like when you look at the education system, when you look out how children's dreams are being limited or taken away from them, you're really creating broken people. And those broken people are like going to contribute into this infinite cycle of like non-functionality. So I think it's definitely circumstances, but I think it's our duty as people living there or like realizing how the structure works to break it free out of it and say and point it out like, no, there's something wrong there. We need to enhance our education systems. We need to enhance the way we think, the way we comment on things and view the world.
Wow, it's very deep. All right, so back to Talavision again. Do you think, for example, I mean, it's a very complex story and you did it it's a short film. Do you see yourself making this into a longer film?
No, not really. Because I mean, I feel the story was designed and built in a way to be a short film. And I think the sweetness and like of the film that it's functioning in a short form and it's getting you to the emotional state in such a short time. And you understand more or less all the points that I wanted to talk about in this film. So I although a lot of people walked up to me and they were like, I would love to see a long version of this film. I think it is designed and meant to be as a short, and I would keep it that way.
Oh, good for you. Well, congratulations on being shortlisted for the Oscars. I hope you get there. Oh, and for our viewers out there, what are you working on next?
Actually, when we won the student Oscar, we were already shooting my next film, actually. So
okay.
yeah, we got the news. We were like in the middle of nowhere in the desert. We were shooting in Jordan. Yeah, that's a short film. It's a story of sisterhood and fear installed by society and like escape. And at the same time, I'm working on on my first long film, titled Salim, which is a story inspired by true events from a Middle Eastern country, basically. Yeah, I wouldn't say more about that because it's a bit, it's a bit, I think it will be difficult to do in the first place. So I'll just leave it at that. Like the topic is not very welcome topic in the Middle East.
Yeah, you have to be, for those out there, I love the Middle East, love the culture, love the people. But yeah, you just learn very quickly. There's certain things you do, certain things you talk about, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, thank you, Murad. And hopefully you'll get the Oscar this year. Congratulations.
Thank you
Ciao.
so much. Thank you for having me.